Hey guys, it's Lizzie. You guys have been chatting for so long. Sorry, I had to finish a couple of things before starting this. So, I just want to say everyone is saying April Fools. It's actually April 2nd. I didn't even realize because we're in Ireland right now, and I don't think this is a thing here. Anyways, this is actually a serious video where I'm going to talk about the past week and everything that I've been experiencing. Before I start, I just want to say that I'm going to be speaking in Ireland this Wednesday in the Midleton Park Hotel in Midleton, which is right near Cork. It's going to be at 8 p.m. in the Jameson Suite. There's several other speakers as well who I've been hanging out with all week. So if you live in Ireland, please come to the event. I'm so excited. We've been working hard all week, going and speaking in their secondary schools, which are basically their high schools. And it's honestly been the most amazing experience. And I'm genuinely talking to people about moving here, and I'm really, really serious about it. And I'm going to explain to you guys what I'm thinking. So, first of all, this priest in Ireland reached out to me a few months ago and asked me to come here and speak to high school students basically about my conversion into Catholicism, the Catholic faith, just because Ireland is a super Catholic country, but it's become it's kind of like America where a lot of people don't go to mass all the time, but it's really amazing because this priest, he really feels ownership of his entire diocese, which is how every parish priest is, where they're priests not just of the people at their parish who go to mass, but of the entire area. And so this priest who we've been working with is so amazing and just going above and beyond, reaching out to everyone and getting everyone involved in getting everyone excited to be Catholic. So I can't get over the clickbait. I know I do clickbait all the time, and I'm the queen of clickbait, but why would I do clickbait on April Fool's Day, which is the 2nd? I don't know what day it says for you. We unfortunately are both Christian. I love your shirt. I know, I love it too. Okay, so basically this weekend I went to a Youth 2000 retreat, which is actually in the US as well. And it's this giant, like 16 to 30, so many young people, lots of worship, testimonies. And you're basically surrounded by like 15 priests the entire night, 4 nuns who are sisters. So they're not like in a nun monastery, but they go around and they serve people, and then some brothers as well. And so you're discerning a religious vocation. It's so scary, but yes. So basically we were surrounded by those people the entire weekend, and I talked to them a lot. And then there's 2 other speakers who were kind of going around speaking with, and one of them, we like bonded so much. She lived in Brazil for a while to missions work. I lived in Thailand for a while, and we just like immediately clicked. And we were exactly the same, where we both didn't want to live in our home country and wanted to travel. And she just talked about how she's like really happy not being in a relationship. But I'm the same way, where I've never really wanted to be in a relationship. And so we had this like hour-and-a-half conversation, and then she was saying, I'm actually starting my 6-month process of becoming a nun. And it's kind of like a discernment process where you pray and you're single for that time, and you think about the whole process, and you talk to religious life. And it's so, are you really moving to Ireland? Yeah, I mean, I just paid rent for the next month of my apartment, but I don't know, within a few days, they were really intense and like, Lizzie, we really want you to move here. There's actually a ministry house here that I could do a year in, where I could be trained more in the church, and then I could hang out with the religious life people and really think about it. But I think a lot of you don't realize how much I really wanted to move to Thailand. I only stayed in America because I was becoming Catholic. And so I was going to move to Thailand for like 3 to 4 years, do ministry full time. And the only reason I stayed in America is because I wanted to become Catholic. Now that I'm Catholic, I have the freedom to leave the country. And I wasn't really seriously thinking about this just because I'm in a serious relationship. I have a boyfriend, and I kind of, Lizzie, I love you. I love you, Ed. But don't you have a boyfriend? I know. This is where it gets like really kind of and we kind of like, he doesn't want me to talk about it that in depth just because it's really, really personal what's happening. Is it weird using other currency? What happens to your boyfriend, Trevor? See, this sucks, like, because our entire life is public, and so, but I'm gonna all of it anyways. So, think well for an entire year before doing this. It's a big difference. I hope you come to New Orleans one day. Are you still in a relationship with your boyfriend? It was the second of my life. Are you really? Okay, so like I was explaining, and I think a lot of you don't realize because you came to my channel recently and you weren't part of my whole life. My entire life, I haven't liked living in the US. I've always wanted to leave the US. It was just like my goal since I was in elementary school. And so, like I said, I stayed in the US to become Catholic, and my boyfriend always kind of joked, like, it's like you live in Thailand, because I would always like wake up really late, and it's like we were in different time zones, and we did the whole long distance thing for, it's almost been 2 years. But we always kind of joked together that if we ever broke up, we would both like join religious life, just because neither of us have always wanted to be in a relationship or really wanted to get married. We kind of just fell together and get along really, really well. And so I was actually on the plane over. It was so weird, but I was thinking, like, what if my boyfriend decided to become a monk? And I was thinking, you know, that'd be so sad. Like, I was like crying on the airplane thinking, like, what if that was like his calling and we had to break up and he left our relationship and forgot my bags? Like, for some reason the bags didn't make the flight. So my first night here, I had absolutely no possessions. I had like my computer, my camera, so I had clean underwear for the next day. I didn't have a toothbrush. I literally had no possessions. And it was like, I love fashion, I love makeup, and I always thought that I wanted that and that I wouldn't feel like okay not having that stuff. But I didn't miss possessions at all. And the moment where like stuff started to click is that the next day when my bags got here, I hated it. I hated having so many possessions and clothes and shoes and jewelry and makeup. I loved the day before where I literally just woke up and went and did ministry and speaking events. It was like the most freeing experience ever. And so then I was literally thinking that day, like, it would be so cool to become a nun. Like, it'd be so freeing because like when you literally don't have possessions. And so then 2 days later, I meet this girl who I was telling you guys about, who she always wanted to leave Ireland. She was in Brazil doing ministry. She has never really like wanted to be in a relationship. And it was just really weird how all of this happened at the same time. And then I was at the Youth 2000 retreat and I was surrounded by nuns who were so happy and just talking to everyone. And I think I always had this idea where if you join religious life, you're not happy and you're just like by yourself and not talking to anything, but they really just help the poor and it's their entire life. And back in the day when I was like in high school, I read this book called The Life You Can Save by Peter Singer. And it was all about poverty relief in the world. And I was just so passionate when I was in high school about donating all of my money, giving to poverty, donating to all these nonprofits, IJM, World Vision, you know, all those organizations. And it was just something I was so passionate about. And I remember reading Bible verses about giving all your possessions to the poor and just thinking, I want to do this. But everyone around me thought I was crazy and thought that we can't fix world poverty. Don't try to fix world poverty and just be a normal person. And I had all these crazy ideas reading these books, and I was like, we should sell my bed and give it to someone who needs it. And I would think every purchase, I would think like how many dollars could go to support a child. Like, I was so intense about it. And I think a lot of it is with bipolar, like extreme empathy. But so connecting that poverty thing to Catholicism, religious life in Catholicism, you actually like live out that radical poverty. And that's something that I was so passionate about like my whole life. And I think I kind of lost it. I don't even know why. I think people I was friends with like at the beginning of college were really like, some people in my philosophy department, my ex, were so into the whole complete poverty thing. And this weekend, I mean, a week ago when I had no possessions, and then seeing people who are actually in religious life, it all kind of clicked together. And like for the first time, I was thinking like my childhood intuitions could literally become a reality. Are you still? Sorry, I haven't been reading your comments. This is a lie. I just wanted to get it all out. So where my boyfriend comes in, so I've always kind of, I remember reading in some video, like what I was saying, where we always joked, like we would probably both join religious life just because it's kind of like, we're going to be together and get married or no one else. It's like we click together so well, you know? I remember someone posted on a video and they were like, you shouldn't completely rule out religious vocation, and not just for me, but for both of us. If we feel those intuitions at all, you know what I mean? Like you should listen to the voice and actually really think about it. And that kind of always, like, it made me uncomfortable reading that comment, because I was like, no, like absolutely, like we're going to be together. We're not going to break up. That's my future. And so, but I was kind of, you know, pushing away that voice. And the girl I was talking to in Ireland, she was saying that you have to be completely like apathetic about both choices, being married or joining religious life. You can't feel pulled in either way. And so if you feel negative, strong negative about one of them, that's a problem. And so I'm at a point now where I feel not like apathetic, but I'm kind of like open to both. And it's hard to explain. I feel like if you guys don't have my same upbringing with hating America, but just meeting all of these people, and literally within 3 days, they were like, you should move here. You should join this. It's kind of like a religious community. It's not religious life, but you just like live there with like a kind of 15 people full time, and you kind of all just like live the Catholic faith and are this huge family and best friends. And literally within 3 days, they're like, Lizzie, you should move here. You can live here. And it was just so immediate. And I can't even explain to you guys. I remember last night I was Googling like Catholic churches in Thailand, and I was like, I want to move back to Thailand. I just want to do ministry full time. But then I was thinking, like, why not a language that I speak where I can actually like properly interact with everyone? So yeah, that's a lot. But I think that this past week, it's honestly felt like a year. We've had so much time. Like, I'm going to make a whole video about Ireland and everything we've done and everyone I've met, but it's been like the most amazing week of my life. And it's so cool being in a Catholic culture, like a country that's actually Catholic, and people are like, oh, they voted to have abortion, they're not Catholic, but like the culture is Catholic. It's not Protestant, it's not secular, it's Catholic. Like that's within the DNA of the country. And if you can just make the country passionate again, it will become a Catholic country again. And that's something that just, it's the most pure concept. And it's something that I don't see in the US. And it's a small enough country to where you just, I can't even explain it, but it's like so pure and sheltered almost the way their country is. And it's just this easy kind of rural, where we are, way of life. And part of it too, is this a community, a Catholic sect, or a certain sister order? There's one order that was at the retreat where I was talking to, but obviously I have to research more. It's really intense. You have to do like a 6-month discernment process, and then you have to make like 1-year vows, and then like 1-year vows, and then 5-year vows. So it's a lot. But I think that I would just move here like for a year and join this religious community and get like catechized more, just because I'm constantly realizing how much I don't know about the faith. And I think that, why do you brush your hair so much? I don't know. It's just so weird for me to talk about ending my relationship, and it stresses me out. So I'm doing this to comfort myself. I don't think you guys understand how like obviously if you feel called to something and you feel like, you know, vocation, God wants you there, but then if you had one plan your entire life, it's terrifying. It's terrifying when you see your life a certain way and then everything changes and it's like, what if this is God's plan for my life? I love it when she flips her hair. Just hopped on waiting for the April Fool's joke. It's April 2nd. I am like, I should have said that at the beginning of the video. So I'm like 10 hours ahead of America right now. So it's actually the 2nd. Please come to Poland. You want me to join the Orthodox Church? That would be what I actually thought about that. Like, what if I read something and then actually I become Orthodox? That would be really dramatic, I feel like. I think a lot of people would become Orthodox with me, right? Don't let people convince you that you're crazy. So many of the saints throughout church history had people tell them they were crazy and they ended up becoming Catholics, some of the most respected Catholics. Have you talked about this with your boyfriend? Yeah. My ancestors, my boyfriends too, and that's what's so sad. Like while I'm here, obviously it's this amazing experience and like I want to stay here, but like I want to bring him here. I want him to meet everyone. I want to go to all like the old cathedrals together. And so it's just this, it's such a weird space to be in, you know? And I think that like what I was saying with moving to Thailand and doing ministry full time, I was so passionate about that. And like the only reason I stayed in America was because of my relationship. It wasn't like I loved America, I loved my home parish. Obviously, I love my parish, but it was like the only reason I was staying here was for my boyfriend. And so then since I've been here, the time difference hasn't been that bad. And so it could be something like where I move here and we think about it and talk about it, but obviously we're in a big transition period in our relationship anyways, just because he's moving on like in his career, like he's moving to a different state. So it's already kind of figuring out what's next for us. Would you be wearing the big black nuts? Maybe. Okay, that's the thing too. I feel like my number one concern, not the no makeup, but having your hair like not out. Cause I freaking love my hair. I don't know if I could, like, that's the one thing where I'm like, this is so sad. Guys, it's not sad. That's the thing. Like, I will still do my YouTube channel. People who are nuns have YouTube channels. Like, if you're a priest, you can have social media, you can make videos. Like, it will not at all change my YouTube content. I just won't have giant eyelashes that you guys don't like in my videos, you know? Like, nothing will change with, like, my YouTube channel. I'll still be able to do it. While you have a boyfriend. I'm so excited for you. It's kind of crazy. I feel like, honestly, if I hadn't been in a relationship when I became Catholic, I would have come to this conclusion so much earlier. Because, like, when I was moving to Thailand, I decided for myself, I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm not going to get into a relationship. Like, my last 2 years of college, I was so serious about being single. That was just such a calling where I wanted to just do ministry full-time above being in a relationship. It was just always a part of me, you know? A streaming nun, oh my gosh, Jesus would just love it. Right? Yeah, like it wouldn't change that much. I'd just be like super devoted in my whole life to ministry. And something that I thought about too while I've been here, so we've been spending like all our time with this priest and literally like driving around from the morning until the night, seeing him go to mass, prayers, like go to the hospital, everything. And I realized like it's so amazing that he's celibate and that he can just devote his entire life to loving us, to loving the church, to shepherding the church. And so just seeing how powerful it is when one person gives their whole life to ministry, that affected me too. How long have you seriously been thinking about becoming a nun? So seriously, like a few days ago, but it's kind of like with becoming Catholic where there was a moment where I was like, I'm going to become Catholic, or no. Like when I started researching into the church, there was a moment where I started researching in, but then looking back the past like 6 years were all these signs that I was coming towards that. And so it's the same thing with this, like something else so weird. So when I told my parents I was becoming Catholic, they sent me books, like anti-Catholic books, and one of them was a memoir of a nun who had a bad experience as a nun. And I remember reading the book and thinking, this actually sounds amazing. Like, it would be so cool to be a nun, like literally reading the book. And so at the time, it's like, oh, I'm an RCIA, I'm in a relationship. But yeah, it was just always there. And my entire life, I've been very like hard mode with God, where I just want to be reading my Bible all the time, praying all the time. And you'd be like Bishop Barron for that. You'd kind of be like Mother Angelica. I'm about to start crying. Oh my gosh. I've been so emotional today, guys. Like I've cried so many times out of like joy and exhaustion and yeah. But my whole life I've always been like pray for an hour, read the Bible for an hour. I've been like all God, and being able to just be all God, like it perfectly lines up with my personality. And I think that with my relationship, and like I've talked to him about this, it's like it's really scary knowing that I'm bipolar and being off birth control, having children, having to go off meds to have children, passing on bipolar to children. It's just, it's like, it's really, really hard. And I think that when I first researched into birth control and stuff, I convinced myself like, oh, I can be on these medications when I'm pregnant, like my bipolar will be okay. But a couple months ago, I made a live stream kind of talking about this. There was the abortion bill in Virginia or whatever. I forget the specifics of it. But basically they were saying like partial birth abortion when she's giving birth, all of that stuff that happened in January. I was researching again bipolar medications, and all the medications that I thought would work for bipolar actually didn't. Like I was so confident that you could be on certain medications, but then I somehow did my research wrong and it's not safe to be on those medications. And so I kind of pushed it down, but I just became so scared earlier this year, and I've kind of been, and I'm getting pregnant, and all of our, like half our kids are bipolar. Yeah, it's just like a really, really scary, serious thing to think that like I'm going to be investing my whole life in children and be off meds. And it's just, yeah, because when you get married in Catholicism, it's not just like you're getting, oh my gosh, I'm getting so sad. I'm about to cry, guys. It's not just like you're committing to the person, but you're committing to like an entire life with them and children. And with bipolar, it's just like, yeah, it's a lot. What about adopting? Plenty of children who need homes. Yeah, no, I was thinking about that too. Like, if I don't want to have children, I just want to like adopt a ton of children. And that's something you can do in religious life. You can literally spend your entire, I mean, there's so many different things, but you can just spend your entire life like in an orphanage taking care of children. You know, there's so many options. I'm happy for you if this is real, but I would wait at least a month to make sure that this is really what you want and not your bipolar affecting you. That's so invalidating. I've honestly been thinking about this for so Like, there were signs and, like, subliminal things all along. It's not like, "Oh, I'm manic right now, and I went to this retreat." It's like, I'm looking back on all these things, and with becoming Catholic too, like, yes, I was manic the entire time when I was researching, but that's the thing, when you're manic, you get more epiphanies and realizations, and you see the world better. Saint Clare and Saint Francis were dating when they decided to serve God with their lives. See, that's really beautiful, and I think, like, if we broke up, oh my gosh, I don't even like saying those words. If we broke up, we wouldn't, like, ditch each other and cut each other off, you know, we would stay in each other's lives, and we already are celibate in our relationship, and so I don't think we would be, you know, destroying a relationship. Like, we would stay in contact, it would just not be physical, which we're long distance, so, yeah, it's not that black and white, you know? Your message as a mother is as important as a nun. Yeah, like, you're still a mother to people. She could become a nun and run an orphanage. Yes, like, I'm so passionate about children, it's just, like, the idea of having children, like, it's so freaking scary thinking that I wouldn't be able to be on meds and not knowing, you know what I mean? Your relationship would change, not end. Mhm. You need to learn more about Catholic doctrine. Read the Catechism of the Catholic Church, which is a book concerning Catholic doctrine. I think you've mentioned the idea of religious life before, so it's definitely something you've been thinking, yeah, this is not just like, "Oh, I flew to Ireland and went manic because of the airplane," like, this is something you guys have even been kind of pushing me to, you know? If you're just tuning in and you live in Ireland, by the way, I put in the description the event I'm doing. I'm gonna be speaking in Midleton at the Midleton Park Hotel this Wednesday on April 3rd. So if you live in Ireland or you know anyone who lives in Ireland, we're gonna be talking about. I'm trying to figure out if that is a sexual comment or not. Nice mouth. Anyways, I'm gonna be speaking in Midleton. There's several other speakers. We're gonna be talking about depression, eating disorders, addiction, like really intense things, and just how God healed us and helped us through those situations. Please, 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 even if you are sure you aren't manic, wait an entire year before making this decision. I always wait a year before making a big decision because if bipolar, you know how like if you get married and you're manic, you can get an annulment? Is that a thing with religious life where you can get an annulment if you were manic? Just have a laugh here, Lizzie. My sister went abroad to Ireland and she loved it so much. Yeah. Vows of obedience means things you might not agree with, you have to be obedient to. Say your superior told you to stop YouTube, or say you couldn't make certain videos anymore. But that's the thing, when I was gonna move to Thailand, I was willing to quit my YouTube channel. It's your vocation. I mean, I love your guys' input, but I mean, I see all these things, you know, pointing together. And I just made my video on why I'm against the concept of vocations. So obviously, I'm against the concept of me having a vocation. So happy April Fools, guys. I think I was pretty convincing in this video. I was honestly almost crying thinking about it because I internalize all my emotions. So no, I'm not going to become a nun. I'm going to do marriage vocation. It was actually funny. At the retreat, we had like different vocation classes you could go to, and I went to the relationship one, and we learned about like emotional chastity and stuff. It was actually really crazy. So I was hoping that because it's freaking April 2nd, no one would actually think that. You were crying? Oh man, you got me good. I've been waiting for this moment. I didn't believe it for a sec. Okay, I actually did believe it. That's the thing. Like, none of this is made up. These are all real thoughts I've had. Isn't that insane? Like, they're all real things, real thoughts, real emotions. You pranked us hard. Lizzie, you should add me on Instagram. It seems like a Christian rapper in the make. Can you just DM me on Instagram, please? What do you think about being a consecrated virgin? Yeah, like, I'm celibate, I'm a virgin, I haven't done anything with a guy, and so I have no problem being celibate at all. That acting was great. Even though there's no real Okay, the reason that I think this was so ridiculous and you guys don't know me at all, if you actually believe this, is because my last video, I was mocking the concept of vocation and God's plan for my life. Like, I hate that stuff. I hate it so much. I hate this. God is leading me. God is calling me. Like, I hate that so much. If I start saying God's plan for my life, I feel like God's leading me, like, no. So no, none, not at all. No. I'm gonna choose my relationship. I thought it was April Fool's at first, but that acting was very— How old are you? I'm 24. I'm turning 25 in July 22nd. That's what manics do, though. So the reason I actually went and made this, I didn't even realize it was April 1st, but I checked YouTube and one of my other YouTubers made a video. And I was actually like totally clickbaited by it. And I was thinking like, oh my gosh, like I'm the queen of clickbait. I have to do this to my followers. Are you even in Ireland? Yeah, I'm in Ireland right now. I've been here for a week. As mathematics major, I'm embarrassed I didn't pick up on the contradiction. April Fools is a really cute way of saying I lied and I said, see you on Wednesday. I might bring my wife and kids. Yeah. Bring your family. It's so exciting. All the people I've met this week, like the people at the parish and at like the Catholicism class of the parish, like all these people in Cloyne Diocese who I've met are all going to be there. So I'm so excited for you to meet everyone. I think God brought me to your channel, Lizzie. Obviously, I love you so much. Any other Irish engagements? Queen of clickbait, not a good title to have, Lizzie. I have to make money, guys, right? My rent actually just doubled, so I'm like on it. I was like making a list of everyone I need to contact for like sponsorships this month. I hope you get canonized as Saint Lizzie of YouTube, patron saint of pranks. I want to be the patron saint of bipolar disorder. Like, that's my goal in life. And guys, if I die young, can you please pray to me? I will intercede for all of you guys for your bipolar intentions. Like 1000% if I die. And you guys can actually pray for me first to get from purgatory to heaven, and then I'll pray for you guys with your bipolar issues. What do your parents think about you moving to Ireland? I'm not moving to Ireland. They actually don't care either way. My parents are really chill. Like, I was actually I stopped watching My Hero Academia for a freaking prank. I can't believe I fell for it. The reason it's so good is because you pick actual real things. So, like, everything I said was true. Like, literally everything I said was true are real things. Invisible friends are not good friends. But, okay, the reason I have to go and talk to my boyfriend. We haven't talked in, like, 4 days. But, the reason I wanted to make this video is because he was like, I was actually thinking this weekend, like, what if you go manic and want to become a nun? Because I actually am manic this weekend. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Like, that's totally something I would do. So that's why I wanted to make this video. But actually, the reason I wanted to make this as well is because I had my video that I was ready to upload. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it's April 1st. I can't upload this. Because anything uploaded on April 1st, people are not going to think it's real. So I made a whole video, and it's called, like, I converted to Catholicism because of my boyfriend, which I'm gonna address kind of like basically, I mean, I say in the video, but like one of the closest people in my life literally told me, "You're only becoming Catholic because of Trevor." And it was just so, like, someone who actually knew the entire situation and how Trevor and I were not in a relationship when I decided to convert said that, and it was really hurtful. And it's something that I know people at my college who see my Instagram and like social media definitely think, like 1,000%, there's people who think that I'm Catholic because I'm in a relationship now. And a lot of you guys deal with that too. Like, people I meet, you guys have said that because you're in a relationship, people think like it's not a real conversion. Anyway, so I have that whole video ready to go. So I'm gonna upload it on April 2nd, or I don't know, maybe later today. I just hate the idea of uploading something on April 1st. Maybe I will upload it later. She's a comical atheist. Have you seen the movie Unplanned? Okay, I'm gonna go in a few minutes, guys, but I'm actually watching the video Unplanned with my best friend Nicole and her Christian Legal Society group at her law school, so we're gonna all see it together. I have it on my calendar, so I'm gonna visit her and spend the night, and we're gonna watch the movie, and I'll make a YouTube video reacting to it. There was an Irish sister named Venerable Catherine Macaulay who founded the Sister of Mercy. Her story is very... You need to find a Byzantine church for you. Well, in Ireland there's not, though. Unplanned is already out. Upload at 10 a.m. or after Ireland time. Oh, and then it'll say the 2nd. Okay. I'll upload it right now then. This is April 2nd. Get confession for your lies to the Irish. Have the best time in Ireland. Yeah, so I'm going to make a video soon on Ireland. If any of you guys comment on... if any of you guys comment on the video, do not give it away. Like, do not give it away. We want to troll everyone together. I'm going to delete comments that give it away. So... what is your opinion about cathedrals in Ireland? Okay, so we actually have a feature now where, because there's so many comments and I miss everyone's comments, if you, I don't know what it's called, but you can do like a super comment and then it actually shows up on my screen so I read it. So you guys can fund my live streams since they're not monetized. So my experience in America is pretty... Post-Vatican II, Novus Ordo Masses, they've really toned it down. And so I really love how all the ceilings are like... I'm so tired, guys, I need to go. All the ceilings are as if you're looking up at the sky rather than just like flat ceiling. And of course they have like insane decorations. Actually, both of the churches I've seen in the diocese I'm in, they kind of have Orthodox, like icona... Okay, I'm gonna go, guys. So, have you read? It's called Super Chat. I'm so delirious, guys. Okay, I'm gonna go and then I'm gonna upload my other video since it's April 2nd. What time is it where you are now? It's 12:58 a.m. I have to do speaking stuff tomorrow. Oh my gosh, guys, thank you for doing super comments. When will you be back in the US? I'm leaving on Thursday, on like Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon, and then it's like a 2-day flight from... So I think I'm going to get back on Friday or Saturday. I don't really know what the time zone changes, like what day I'll be getting back, but over the weekend. Hit the end button. Ireland needs good Catholics. Go to sleep. Orthodox is the teachers. Night night, Liz. I will buy a brush for your hair. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna go shower and I'll upload my video and I'll talk to my boyfriend who I'm not breaking up with. I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.